Here's what the college planning industry won't tell you. Most of the advice parents get about junior year is completely backwards. Everyone says junior year is about grades, test prep, and college visits. But if that's all you're doing, you're setting your teen up for what I call the senior year scramble. And it costs families thousands of dollars with wasted tuition, changed majors, and degrees that they never use. After working with hundreds of families, I can tell you exactly what junior year is for and has nothing to do with picking a college. I'm Laurie Genevish, and I run a career and college planning practice that's probably different than any you've ever seen. Because unlike traditional college consultants who focus on getting your teen into college, I help families figure out if college is even the right path in the first place. And here's what I've learned after doing this for almost a decade. Families who wait till senior year to start exploring career direction end up making those expensive mistakes. I've worked with students who went to college, spent a year or two miserable and directionless. And then they came to me after we did some exploration that they should have done their junior year of high school. Some discovered they were meant for skilled trades. They transferred out, rolled into technical programs, and now are thriving with no student debt and work they actually love. Others did discover that they should be in college, but they were in the wrong major. After a proper exploration, they switched to programs that actually fit their strengths and interests. They stopped chasing majors or changing majors every semester and finally found direction. Both groups lost time and money because they didn't do that exploration before those deadlines hit. So today I want to talk about the biggest myth about junior year and what you should actually be doing if you want to avoid those scenarios. And if you're finding this information valuable, hit that subscribe button. I'll be posting every week with insights traditional planning consultants industry doesn't want you to hear. So let's dive in. Here's the myth. Junior year is about academics, keeping your GPA, prepping for standardized tests, maintaining your extracurriculars, maybe visiting a few colleges. And yes, all of that definitely matters. But what nobody tells you is that junior year is actually your last real opportunity for your teen to explore who they are and what kind of future they want to build towards. Not which college, not which major, but who they are. And here's a part that's going to sound a little bit controversial. Most college consultants won't tell you this because their business model depends on getting your kid into college, not figuring out if college is the right choice. I built my entire practice around a different question. What path actually fits your teen? College, trade school, apprenticeships, military, gap year, certifications. Because by the time senior year hits, exploration window has closed. Senior year when your teen is supposed to apply to schools, which requires them knowing what programs they need, writing essays about their goals, which requires them to have goals, make decisions about their future, which requires understanding what are their options. But if you haven't done the exploration work yet and you're trying to figure all this out while also managing applications, deadlines, financial aid, and a general stress of senior year, and here's what happens. You're in panic mode. College becomes the default, not because it's the right choice, but because it's what everyone else is doing. It's not impossible to make good decisions under that pressure, but it's much harder than it needs to be. Let me tell you about two students I worked with. First, there's Allison. Allison came to me at the start of her junior year. She had some ideas about what she wanted to study, but she really wasn't sure. She was randomly picking colleges based on where she wanted to live, what type of environment they had, sports teams and such, not really based on programs that would actually fit her. Her parents were anxious because they wanted to make sure she was headed down the right path. So we spent junior year exploring. Allison had the time to think about what kind of life she wanted. She had time to research careers beyond the obvious ones, talk to people in those work fields that she was curious about, time to take career assessments, understand her strengths, and connect the dots. By the time senior year started, she wasn't scrambling. She knew she wanted to go into nursing. She knew which schools had strong programs, and she was able to fill the gaps in her extracurriculars that we identified to help her stand out in the college application process. She had her story ready for college essays because she had done the inner work. Her applications were strong because she had that clarity. Now, let me tell you about Brendan. Brendan's family, figured there was more time in senior year, and quite honestly, time got away with them, as it does for many parents. So when Brendan came to me by September of his senior year of high school, college applications were already, due soon. He had no idea what he wanted to do, no career direction, and now he was supposed to write compelling essays about his future. I worked with Brendan through a 4-week program that I have, which I created specifically for seniors in this situation. We compressed months of exploration work into just a few weeks. And yes, Brendan got his clarity. He walked into college with a much better sense of direction than when if he had not worked with me at all. But here's the difference that matters. Allison had the 8 weeks during her junior year when she wasn't racing against application deadlines. She had time to reflect between sessions, time to change her mind and explore again, time to really sit with what she was learning about herself and what she wanted for herself. Brennan's had 4 compressed weeks during the busiest, most stressful time in his life. He had to juggle exploration with applications, with senior coursework, scholarship deadlines, and everything else. Did it work for Brendan? Yes. Was it harder than it needed to be? Absolutely. He missed out on scholarship opportunities that required earlier applications. He missed the chance to strengthen his application by addressing gaps we identified but didn't have time to fill. Same starting point, completely different experience. The only difference is the timing. So, if your teen is a junior right now, here's what I want you to understand. You do have a window. It's not closed yet, but every week you wait is less time your teen has to explore, reflect, and build the clarity that makes senior year much smoother and less stressful. And here are 3 things you can start doing this week. One, start different conversations with your teen and stop asking, what colleges do you want? Start asking, what kind of work environment does sound appealing to you? When you imagine a day at work, what does it look like? 2, expose them to careers they don't know exist. Most teens know about 10 to 20 careers, but there are hundreds, thousands of options out there. Have your teen Google careers and insert their interest and discover 5 new options. Watch day in the life videos together so they can better understand what that job would entail. 3, acknowledge the window. Have an honest conversation with your teen. Say, we have to explore this before your senior year gets crazy. Let's make sure we use it wisely. Now, if you're watching this and thinking, I want help with this process, but I don't know where to start, I have a few resources for you. First, I wrote a detailed blog post about this topic that goes even deeper into the junior year myth, and I'll put that link in the description. Also, I hold regular free info sessions for parents of high schoolers. So check the description for upcoming dates and registration links. Now, if you want structured, personalized help with this process, I have two programs, an 8-week program for students called Your Teens Next Chapter, and a 4-week program, Senior Success Accelerator. Links to everything will be in the description. So, junior year is not just about grades and test scores. It's about giving your teen the time and space they need to figure out who they are and what direction they're headed. Don't let that window close. I'm Laurie Genevish, and I'll see you in the next video.